Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga. Okay, when Eve did the Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another
west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nobody abdominal. So what you sucker trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers. But I ride like I got group 5 for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been the dropper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm throwing them up Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The war heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat song, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas feel like a tire, down the D. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title. Because UP, I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Be part of the #1 movie in the world.
Suit up.
What, you mean like right now, right now?
Yeah.
The word in the
Take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, now that's alright. I got to write it, birth the devil's redefining work.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making dough, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue. Guess who's on this instrumental with you? gives a damn if we was family? View unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist. They slayed the man. I swayed the Tim like here I am. The son of Sam is taking shots at David Berkowitz. Pushing. A different discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say since not the actor, but the year he's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turns his words to mirth from Babel.
You know that you are. As cold as ice to me. You know that you are.
Front lines of 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on God's bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but
Someday you'll pay the price.
look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope. I'm anti-politics cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways and seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vesta dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.
You know that you are. As cold as ice to me. You know that you are.
All right. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Go ahead, clap it up. Shalom, Israel, or Yasharallah in the Hebrew. Yasharallah means princes of the power, sons of the Most High. That's who we are. Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true chosen people of God. The God of this Bible is our power. Christ is our king, and the white man is the devil. You understand? That is what we teach here in the UPK. Those two things, man, and on top of that, having brotherhood, those are the most important things when it comes to serving the Lord and doing this work. Today, we're going to get into a topic, go into some history. Let me see, man, real quick, if I had, before we get started, any questions in the room, questions online? Let me see. Is this what I had? Let's see. I want to make sure. had something this morning as well. I needed to bring out as well. No questions? You know the Bible? You know the whole Bible?
Well, sir.
All right. Well,
So I guess focus on your topic.
no sweat, no sweat. That's what Kavazar said. I think that's what Jim Hyman taught him. He was like, man, there's no reason. You must know the whole Bible there. No, we don't need class. Let me see. Where is what I was looking at earlier, real quick? There you go. There you go. All right. Hold on.
And bam.
So lock it. Everybody online, they might just be sitting here waiting. We're gonna get going. This is important right here. Shalom, Yabashim Shabakata, Nayak online. Here you go. What else? Nothing less. This right here. Cool. Now we should be good to go. Do that. Gmail. So, it should come in. Right. There we go. Cool. All right. Now, you can if you had a remote too, you can turn on the TV and you can go to ISUPK Oakland or ISUPK SAC. You can watch the class, so when I play the video, you can see it while you hear it. It might be a little bit time delay for us to sound, but you kind of get an idea. So I'm gonna play this stuff. All right, let's get into it. Yeah. So I would just go to YouTube and go to ISUPK Oakland, and then you'll be able to see when I play the video here. Just keep the sound off. That's what I'm saying. The sound will come from here, but you're gonna be able to at least look at it because we don't got no screen for you to see it. That's doing a little extra, but let's go ahead and get to the topic one more time. You know what I mean? Shalom, everybody out there. 7:30 right on the dot, so that's the why we're gonna get this thing rocking and rolling. If you have any questions online, the yacht, type them in the chat. Anybody else online, go ahead and type their questions in. If you have questions throughout the night that come and hit your mind or just off of something I said, feel free to type it in as well. So, just yesterday, I'm sure there's plenty of articles that came out and said that Donald Trump has classified the cartel as a terrorist organization. And what that means is he's going on to a full-out war against Latinos. He is not creating this war on drugs to stop drugs from coming in this country, because America is feeding off of the drugs. America needs the drugs in order to exist. America needs the cartels. They need the dope. They need everything that is happening to happen. But they have to blame someone. They have to attack someone. And it's no difference than what they did to the so-called to the Judites or the so-called Black Americans. In the 1970s, they created a drug war against Black Americans. And it wasn't about fighting against drugs. How do we know this? It's because, for one, the drugs never stopped coming in. For two, white people sell more drugs than Black people. So if you wanted to fight drugs, you would fight against white people. If you wanted to end drugs, you would police the white community. in the 1980s, they were bringing in coke. How do you think they were bringing in coke into America in the 80s?
Planes, sir.
Exactly. Get a brother a hand. You understand? It was bringing them on airplanes. Is there any niggas in the hood in the Bronx that got airplanes? They got access to airplanes. There's no niggas in Harlem, the Bronx, Chicago, Oakland, Richmond that have access to planes. These things were getting brought here by the government, by federal agents, by rich and successful businessmen. There's a documentary. You can look it up if you think I'm making this up. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna Google Wikipedia. Bill Clinton's brother. What's his name? Let me see if I can tell you his name. Bill Clinton's brother name. I think he only had one. Roger Clinton Jr. Let's see what comes up. Blah, blah, blah. Is this what I'm looking for? Personal life. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah.
They got a different last name.
Right. Go ahead to Roger Clinton Jr. Let's look this up.
He's an actor, musician.
It might, yeah. Does it say Bill Clinton's brother? What does it say? You on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Go on to Wikipedia. It's an American actor, musician, right? He's a younger brother. Yeah. So scroll down, go to presidency, of Bill Clinton. Blah, blah, blah. Right, go. Oh, your thing?
Career or something?
Personal life? Is this, personal life. Yeah, read that real quick. This is how I get down, man. I be having one thing that something come to my mind, and that's how caveat the Zagi is. Salagi. It's like, hold on, y'all gotta do your history. What Jay Main say? Do your homework. Do your homework on Bill Clinton's brother. You know what I'm saying? Do your homework on the Clintons being drug dealers and flying dope into Arkansas in the 80s. Do your homework on that and see what country we really live in. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to tell this narrative that the black man and the Latino man are the drug dealers in the earth. Go ahead.
Presidency of Bill Clinton.
Right.
During his brother's presidential campaign and subsequent administration.
No sweat.
Clinton was given the code name Headache by the Secret Service due to his controversial behavior.
Right. So they call this, you know what I mean, on the phone, Lil Duck is in the building. Like his name was Headache. Like, have you seen Headache? Because he's always getting a headache because he's always into some SHIT. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Clinton attracted negative media attention in 2001 when it was revealed that he had accepted $50,000 and a Rolex watch in 1999 from the children of this
Sicilian
mobster Rosario Gambino.
Right. So he's got 50 bands from this mobster and a watch from him. You're the president's brother. What do you think is really going on here? Why would they care about giving you this? If you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think you that cool? You think you that fly? The Gambino crime family gonna be like, here, I ain't never got nothing from them. If I went around them, they'd be like, you Giuliani, don't even look at me. You looking at my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the out of here. Right. This damn coon out of my face. You know what I'm saying? But Bill Clinton's brother getting money from him and Rolexes from him. Keep going.
A convicted narcotics trafficker and Gambino crime family member serving a 49-year sentence in exchange for lobbying lobbying his brother to pardon Gambino.
Damn. So he cashing them out saying, hey, if you pardon him, this is why we giving you these gifts and doing all these things. And it's like, why would he even tell this? You know what I'm saying? He must be high on, like, why did you tell somebody you got this money from? You messing up the whole operation. They probably wanted to knock him down after that. Like, you're supposed to take the money, go talk to your brother, get me off, and then that's it. Keep going.
Clinton repeatedly visited the Federal Parole Commission headquarters to advocate for Gambino. In 1999, Gambino was included in a list of potential pardons, but he was ultimately not granted one.
Right.
In January 2001, before his brother left office, Clinton was granted a controversial presidential pardon for a 1985 cocaine possession and drug trafficking conviction. Robert Clinton Jr. had served time in federal prison after being convicted following a sting operation of conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
Right. So now, when you go into the history, there's a whole documentary about this small town in Arkansas where Bill Clinton was from. And the rise of Bill Clinton to becoming a presidency, this area was known for flying in cocaine into Arkansas on these airplane strips and bringing in keys and keys and keys and keys into the nation. And there was these young white girls coming out, these prostitutes. They always say Bill Clinton was a playboy. These young girls was coming out saying, yeah, we've been going to these parties with Bill Clinton and his brother. And then they were having us bring in this dope and all this stuff. They end up locking up the girl. They end up like, I think somebody probably ended up dead. It's a lot. It's a whole documentary exposing how Bill Clinton was a drug dealer. Not his brother is the little homie. Bill Clinton really was the plug. But all of this stuff is covered up. They don't really expose it. If you try to speak about it, then they're going to shut it down or call you crazy. Like they said, they try to put her in like a crazy house or something for revealing this information. But even in all that protection, the dumb brother still got caught up and caught a dope charge. But guess what? In 2001, his brother pardoned it, wiped it clean. It never happened. Take it away from the records. So these are the people that we dealing with. You understand? So where we at with it? Let's go back to this thing with the opioid crisis. So right now I'm gonna play a quick video. I got a lot of different things. I want to move on, be a little bit quicker on moving through. And go ahead. For your speaker? No, that's not too bad.
Are you sure?
I can turn from here too if it is. It sounds so wild. But they have declared the cartel a terrorist organization, but we're gonna prove to you tonight it has nothing to do with protecting the people in Mexico. Because, and this is how I know, I remember we was talking about it on the way over here, right? This is how you know it. Believe it or not, why are Mexicans selling drugs in Mexico? So-called Mexicans. Why is the cartel doing this?
Because Mexico's a poor country.
Get our brother in hand. Because Mexico is a poor country. Why do brothers in the hood sell dope?
Because they're poor.
You understand? Right. So now you have to ask, why is Mexico poor? Mexico is one of the wealthiest nations on earth when it comes to resources. When it comes to the things that they can sell around the world. I'm not going to say oil. I don't know what Mexico is wealthy in, but they have some of the most resources in the world. I've heard people say that recently. Okay. Alexa. Yeah, I don't know how to wake her up. It's not plugged in down there or something. Let me see. But let's go ahead. What are some of the... Go ahead.
You have a question. You said, why is this so poor, even though they have all those resources there?
Right.
Is it because America is stealing those resources?
Damn right. Damn right. It's called imperialism. So imperialism basically is where America goes into Mexico, buys all of their resources or buys the places that manufacture their resources, then they ship it out, they put it together, and then they sell it back to the people in Mexico and sell it all over the world. So one example was like an African country. They have cocoa, chocolate. You know what I'm saying? The poor Africans go on the farm, they get all the cocoa, send it to Hershey's in America, they turn it into chocolate, sell it all around the world, then they sell it back to them at a high price, even though they're the plug. So imagine like being in Colombia and you buying Coke at a high price because they send it out somewhere else and then send it back in. It's like, man, we're the plug on that. You know what I'm saying? Georgia is the plug on peaches. All these states have something that they're known for, but you can't buy the peach in Georgia. You got to send it out all the way to California to bring it back to here, and then we pay you more for it. So some of Mexico's natural resources, oil, silver, copper, gold, natural gas, wood, various products like corn, wheat, vegetables, make it a major producer of minerals and agriculture exports globally. So Mexico has all of the resources it needs to be one of the wealthiest countries on earth, but America owns all of those fields in Mexico. So there's some rich American, like what's his name? Not Bernie Madoff, the other one, Warren Buffett. So he'll invest billions of dollars in this land in this company of agriculture. So he owns it first and he gets to decide what to do with it. And if you want to buy it from him, he's going to charge them more money. So he makes you stay poor so you can work on his farm so he can make more money selling it everywhere else. And then you're like, I don't want to work on the farm and I can sell dope and I can get off of this farm. Go ahead.
Does this somehow correlate or have any connection to why their dollar is so like a low value out there?
Yeah, kind of. The whole economy is connected. America is strength. Its strength has come from the domination of all these other places. That's why I call it an empire. It's just like the Roman Empire, where Rome was so wealthy because they would go to all these other nations, conquer them, and make them pay what we called it last week. You remember? Tribute. They have to pay tribute back to Rome. So that's how their empire is so wealthy, because we're such a small group, but we eating off of all these different nations. That's what America does. So we have America. I don't say we. I hate when I say we. It's not us. America has money coming out of Venezuela, coming out of Guatemala, coming out of El Salvador. If y'all got anything in Cuba or whatever, not Cuba because we blocked them off, but anything coming out of Puerto Rico, Haiti, all of those things, that's what's going on in the stock market. They're investing in all these different places all around the world, and they're trading with them at the World Trade Center. You see what I'm saying? And moving these things around so all of it funnels back up to America and Europe, the European nations. But now we're seeing these other countries are coming together and they're trying to get free from the white man. So they're saying we stick together and we do business with each other, then we don't have to depend on them and their money. So that's another thing. Well, I digress from that. Let's go ahead. Let's move forward. I'm going to play this thing about fentanyl real quick. It's going to be a few minutes. I'm going to play it a little bit faster, at a faster speed, so it'll play a little bit quicker, so it won't take too long. Salakia. How do you change the speed on here? Settings. I was trying this morning. 1.25. Maybe right here. Let's put it. Are you able to see it? Let me share it on the screen. I'll share it on here. Where is the fentanyl really coming from? The fentanyl is coming from China.
Then processed and manufactured.
Members of Congress are calling the influx of Chinese fentanyl an act of asymmetric war against the United States. The Drug Enforcement Agency estimates 90% of fentanyl comes from Chinese companies that not only operate legally inside of China, but are also subsidized and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party. China sends precursor chemicals, which are then processed and manufactured into synthetic opioids by Mexican drug cartels that then smuggle them into the United States.
Fentanyl precursor chemicals are made in China.
It is not at all an area of dispute that China provides the fentanyl that comes into the United States.
On the other hand, China claims the fentanyl crisis is entirely an American domestic issue that's being blamed on them. China claims Big Pharma's opioid corruption, weak U.S. laws, and a culture of American drug glorification are really to blame. This disagreement is a major problem for the world's two biggest economies. Attempts to stop this have failed, leading to calls for U.S. military intervention against Mexican cartels to stop the substance's devastating effects.
Growing calls from Republicans to send the U.S. military into Mexico to combat drug cartels.
For example, in 2022, over 107,000 Americans died from overdoses in the United States, and fentanyl poisoning became the leading cause of death of Americans 18 to 45 years of age.
So the first thing, just to double back, the first thing he said was China is going to war with America, and they're sending fentanyl as a way of sending over here. The Chinese government, you heard that part? He said the government of China is making this precursors for fentanyl and then sending it over here so that they can finish cooking it up and then send it into America. And so, like I said, Mexico was just caught in the middle, and they're just the middleman of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever the real plug is, this has nothing to do with Mexico. They're just the ones delivering it. And it shows you that they're really not a threat, is the point of this, to America. It has nothing to do with Mexicans. It has everything to do with China and America. And this is what this explains.
The paper found that prescription opioids accounted for 44% of the decline in labor force participation among men. In asymmetric warfare, one nation seeks to exploit the other's relative weakness. In this case, China is accused of exploiting America's appetite for illicit drugs and weaponizing fentanyl. When U.S. President Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping engaged in an all-out trade war in 2018, the Chinese government then increased tax breaks and subsidized companies that were exporting fentanyl abroad to punish the United States.
Good night. He said, what? You gonna tax us? We sending more dope. And then we see it in Frisco with our brothers overdosing on fentanyl right now. We see it in Oakland with everybody living under tents right now. Blacks and Hispanics have to pay for the evil between China and the white man. You see what I'm saying? And then we sit here and we like, well, they got to do something about it. They got to take out the cartels when they just pawns inside of this game. You know
when Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in 2022, against China's wishes, they stopped all cooperation between Chinese and U.S. law enforcement agencies that were working to fight fentanyl trafficking. It's clear the fentanyl crisis has become deeply ingrained in foreign diplomacy today. But the idea of weaponizing substances against an adversary is nothing new. Because if there was ever a country to understand the power of addiction in geopolitics, it's China.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay, I picked up the
Qin Gang, China's former ambassador to the United States, said, quote, "The Opium War started a century of humiliation for China. Some Americans believe that China is the primary source of fentanyl in the United States. Some even fantasize that China is shipping fentanyl to the United States as a form of payback for the Opium Wars, and that North America has been flooded with precursor chemicals from China, stifling international efforts. The theory is that China is using the same tactic that was used against them, but now they're turning it against the West. Over 170 years ago, in the mid-19th century, the Opium Wars led to what China calls their century of humiliation, that they claim only ended in 1949, except in the Opium Wars, the roles were reversed. Have
you heard of the Opium War?
No, not exactly.
Okay. And then you keeping up though a little bit, is it saying the before it was the other way around. That's why they say reverse. No, they learned from America, they learned from the white man. Now they're doing it, and the Trump don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, but it's gonna break down this Opium War, and then we'll get back into class.
At the time, the United States, Great Britain, and France found themselves going crazy over Chinese tea and silk. But Britain ran into a problem. They started running low on silver necessary to pay for these exotic goods. The British turned to their Indian colony and said, hey, how about you guys produce opium, a highly addictive drug, and then we can trade it to China for all these sweet, sweet tea leaves and silk. Selling opium.
I don't know, maybe I'm gonna slow down. It seems like he's talking a little fast. I got it going fast. I'm gonna just move it down just to regular speed. What is he saying? The British were buying silk and tea from China. You know, the British love their tea and the clothing. They couldn't get this nice silk without the Chinese. So they're giving all their money, silver, to China. They're not getting anything back because they're not having an even trade. They're not swapping it out. They just coming to buy from you. So they're like, we're addicted. We nuts. We getting all this tea from you. You ain't giving nothing to us. How can we make some money? If we turn your nation into drug dealers, to drug users, we can get money back from you because all of your people are going to buy the opium from us that we grow in India because India was a British colony. You understand? So this is what was going on, man.
Probably wasn't initially designed to create an epidemic in China, but instead it was probably a method to restore the balance of trade back in Europe's favor. It's like a history lesson on how not to win friends and influence people. Opium smuggled by the British and American traders skyrocketed in the mid-1800s. Massive amounts of Chinese silver was flowing out of their country to the West to pay for opium. At its peak, 13.5 million Chinese out of 400 people in their population were hooked. Or to put it more bluntly, 25% of the country's males were spending all their time smoking in an opium den. At that point, it becomes difficult to raise an army or increase your economy's productivity because everyone is too busy chasing that big old red opium dragon. Opium had become an existential threat to China. What followed is an interesting parallel to the debate occurring in the US political system today, because the Chinese government debated whether or not they should try to profit off the opium themselves and legalize the drug through a government monopoly like they had with salt, which they could barter, or if they should make it outright illegal. China passed laws banning narcotics and told foreign sellers if they didn't stop, they'd be punished under Chinese law. Seeing the social and economic degradation that widespread opium addiction was having in the society, the Chinese emperor confiscated and destroyed more than 20,000 chests of opium. Some 1,400 tons of the drug were warehoused at Canton by British merchants. This led to Britain launching the First Opium War. According to the first-hand reports written in 1847, about 19,000 British ground troops fought on Chinese soil in the city of Zhenjiang.
Whatever. I think you feel me? Yeah. Nigga said, but put it into nigga term, nigga, y'all flushed our dope. The Chinese destroyed their dope. The white boy said, what? Nigga, we kill you over that dope. Nigga, we going to war. They started a war because the Chinese wouldn't let them sell dope in their own country. That is the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand how much of a devil these people are. They like, you are not gonna let us sell dope to your people? Nigga, we killing you.
Defeating the Qin dynasty in 1842. Even though China outnumbered Britain with 100,000 soldiers, Western military weapons and technology were far superior. This included precision-locked muskets, heavy artillery, and paddle-wheel gunboats. Add to that the fact that British troops had far more combat experience from fighting in recent Napoleonic wars. It gave them an edge in the battle. Britain was able to wage war 4,800 miles away from home, thanks to advanced warships and logistical resupply from nearby colonies in Southeast Asia and India. It was this pre-positioning of supplies and combat power that resulted in a disaster for the Chinese forces. China had 7,000 casualties to Britain's less than 3,000. This resulted in the Treaty of Nanking in 1842, and it gave Britain control of Hong Kong, which has had ripple effects seen to this day. The First and Second Opium Wars spanned nearly 2 decades, where Britain and France won decisive victories. China calls this today the century of humiliation. From their perspective, these treaties were unfair. This concept is key to understanding China's perspective today because this history underscores the devastating consequences of weaponizing drugs as a tactic, which should tell us how important it is to address the fentanyl crisis today. One historian even called this time period China's treaty century because each loss meant that they were forced to make major concessions to foreign countries like France, England, and Russia. The treaties made the opium trade legal and allowed foreign nationals in China to be immune from Chinese laws. Many of these treaties weren't voided until 1943, so it's not like this is distant history for China. The United States did participate in the opium trade, and they benefited from these trade negotiations signed as a result of the wars. It's likely impossible for China to have not learned from this traumatic experience from their point of view, the power of weaponizing addiction for political gain and economic profit. The opium trade in China hit its peak in 1906. At the time, 35,000 tons were grown domestically, and an extra 4,000 tons of opium were brought in imported from abroad. A massive percentage of their population was addicted. So how did China manage to free their population from drug addiction for a period of time? Is there anything at all of use that we could potentially learn from this on how to manage our own drug crisis today? Well, maybe not, because when the Chinese Communist Party took control in 1949, they burned it down. They burned it all down, specifically the opium fields and all of their drug addicts. Dictator Mao Zedong used unrestrained repression and social reform to eradicate any signs of opium. More than 800 traffickers were put to death, and many were sent to prison for life. 10 million addicts were forced into compulsory treatment and punished by the government if they didn't follow through.
Good night. So this is another thing. America hates communists. America hates this guy. To them and their people, I'm like, I don't know. Is he really that bad for them people? Now, for us, we're not in it. But he came in, burned all opium fields. Once he got his military strong enough to take over the country, he was like, nigga, we ain't having no dope in our country. And you drug traffickers, 800, they all got their heads chopped off. Anybody else that's on dope, y'all going into rehab. And if y'all try to leave, excuse my language, nigga, we chopping your head off. You either gonna get sober or you gonna die. And that's what Christ is gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. You really love your people. It's different. It's like they don't really love Mexico. They really wanted to fix Mexico. They know how to do it in a certain way to really target these people to fix this problem. But in reality, they don't really care about fixing this stuff, man. It's something else going on down there. So I think
that in 1953, only 5 years after taking control, the communist leadership announced that China was drug-free.
Good night. That's all I got to play on that. 5 years, he got the whole country off of dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff they talk about with us, it's like they never can figure it out. They never can solve the problems. And so it's always something. We're going to get into the Bible, though. Let's see. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Since we went to move this camera around, I won't move it. I'm just going to explain it. Let's move it. It's 8 o'clock, so yeah. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 23. Because someone could have an argument that if we go, or if America goes in and destroys the cartels, that they're going to end the opioid crisis. Unless they get rid of the drug addicts in America, they'll never end the opioid crisis. People will do anything to get drugs. You're not stopping no drug addict from getting drugs unless you stop a drug addict from getting drugs. You can't get rid of the drugs. They're going to find something else to make. They will go to Walgreens and create fentanyl if they need to. They will like have it raining like manna from heaven. They're going, dope fiends going to find a way to get in prison. Do they stop dope from going in prison? So how can you stop the dope? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't fix the drug addicts, that's how China fixed it. You got to fix these dope fiends. And white people are going to have to fix their people. They're not trying to do that. This is something to move against these Mexicans. Go ahead, though.
There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills.
Right.
And from the multitude of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
Right. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills. What does that mean? The hills always represent the governments, the mountains. We're looking to this government to save us. We're looking for Donald Trump to save us. We're looking for the government and the military to go to Mexico, destroy the cartel, then Mexico is going to be free. Mexico needs to be free from America first. You want to end them needing a cartel, end poverty in Mexico first. Give these kids an opportunity to have a nice home, a nice education, and they will not choose to join. No one wants to. That's what they always say. Like the real gangsters, Lil Blood was saying that. Like real gangsters don't want to be gangsters. They don't glorify it. Like nobody is in there like, man, this is what I thought. When I was a little kid in the barrio, I dreamt of being a cartel boss. Like, yeah, you do. Some of them do, right? But that's a little bit older. Ain't no 3-year-old, 5-year-old like really looking up to that. And even if someone was, that shows you, for one, they really didn't know what it meant. If you're looking up to a drug dealer today and you 5-10 years old, that's because he has a nice car and a nice jewelry. And you see the women. You don't really see what comes with it. You don't see him stressed out overnight, can't sleep, got PTSD because he did this violence over here, thinking the Fed's always going to kick in the door, not knowing if he's going to do life and never see his kids again, or he might get killed out here. Like, this is a very stressful life. You don't think them brothers in the cartel is stressed the hell out? Now you bringing in terror? Like, you saying we terrorists? We literally just trying to make a better way for our people, just like the Italian mafia did, just like the Irish mafia did, just like the Jewish mafia did. The whole, it was a thing also with the Italians. It was called the heroin pizza connection. You have heard that? That one's just some of the little thing they had going on back in the days, like in the 60s and 70s. Basically, the Italians was bringing a hella heroin, and they was hiding them at pizza parlors, and they was moving them around. But they are no different. The Italian mafia is no different than the cartel. They have just blanketed these cats to be something else. And it just, but, you know, like I said, I'm not justifying the stuff that the cartel is doing. But, you know, one of our brothers in the school, Yashikar Banyashikar, he was in it. You know what I'm saying? He tells the stories of, yeah, that stuff is real. They really chopping people, cutting people up. But when you hear from someone that has been repented and coming to the truth, you realize he was just somebody stuck in the middle of this. And that's what I'm saying tonight. The purpose of this class is to show you that the Mexicans are not evil people. They're stuck in between two great evil nations more powerful than them. And they're just using them. But that's, matter of fact, give me Genesis 49 and 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens.
Right. So it's like Issachar is a donkey, is a burro. That's what the tribe of Issachar. Mexicans, they love the donkey. In the Bible, for some reason, you see what I'm saying? Today, they still love the donkey. In the Bible, it says it describes them as a donkey. This is a strong, because a burro is a very strong animal. A donkey can carry a lot more than you would think for its size. You see what I'm saying? It's a very hard worker. It can go long miles. That's the characteristics of this. And it's describing Issachar as a strong donkey in between two burdens, North America and South America. This is the pressure that they have to deal with on both sides. And now I am, applying it to the burdens of being between America and China. Once again, it's crouching down between two burdens, because the reason why Mexico became the plug, because I got folks, you know what I'm saying, big homies or whatever, they're like, back in the, he's like, I don't know how the Mexicans became the plug. In the 70s and 80s, we were getting all our dope from Colombians. That's where we was getting our keys from. Like, that's what was coming from Colombia, straight Colombians. What happened was they made a law where they could extradite people from Colombia to jails in America. So if you selling dope from Colombia to America, then American DA could go in there and get you to take you back. So they said, we're not ever going to sell dope to America. We're only going to sell dope to Mexico. And that's how Colombians got out of it. So all the coke and powder still comes from Colombia, but they just sell it to Mexico, and it's Mexico's job to get it over the border here. And so that's where the cartels came from. America created the cartels. America put the conditions in line for them to even exist. All right. But read that one more time.
Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens.
Right. This is what we're seeing today. This is another form of it. All right, let's drop that. Let's get Psalms 107:37. There is something I wanted to put on the board over here, but I'll just describe it. Psalms 107:37. Then you got a few verses here. Let's say 107, yeah. I remember hearing about something that described America and how they got to the top of this mountain, because they always describe being at the top of the mountain. They said it was a ladder, and every crime you could list on the ladder: robbery, extortion, rape, murder, drug dealing, anything, you know what I mean? That's how they climbed up to the top, by crime. And then when they got to the top of the hill, they turned down and burnt the ladder. And they said, if any one of y'all break one of those laws, y'all got to answer to us. So y'all can't climb up here doing what I did, but how I got up here is doing that. And this is what we are seeing today again. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 107, verse 37. And sow the fields and plant the vineyards, which may yield fruits of increase. Verse 38. He blessed them also, so that they are multiplied greatly, and suffereth not their cattle to decrease. Wow.
Okay, hold on. Is that might be? I might have written it down. No, that's not what the one I wanted. Hold on. It's a lot here. It is in a different precept. If not, I'm gonna have to find it real quick. Let's see if I got it. Songs. But any thoughts, any comments? It's 106 and 37.
The book of Psalms, chapter 106, and verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, They sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils.
Right. This is something that is happening, though. Like I said, we're not going to completely absolve, the cartels for what they're doing. It's the same thing the Judites here in America have done. All of us have done sins against the Lord. And the thing is, the reason why we are doing this is because we look up to the culture of our oppressor. Like they say, Big Meech, like, why do we glorify Big Meech? Big Meech learned how to be like that from America. America made this lifestyle cool. And so this is what we are trying to be like. And this is the days when we were trying to be like these other nations. This is why all these curses happen on us. Keep going.
Verse 38. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And in the land was polluted with blood.
Right. So they sacrificed to these idols of Canaan, these other gods and these other nations. And this is where you see all of this pain and destruction happening in this land. Keep going.
Verse 39. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went whoring with their own invention.
Right. So you see the cartels, they'll love talking about having these saints, patron saints, and different angels, and they ride around with the angel of death on their car and all these candles and stuff. They think that the Lord is going to help them be successful in living this lifestyle. They've gone a whoring after all these different gods. Keep going.
Verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, in so much that he abhorred his own inheritance.
Right. He hated his own inheritance because of the things that we're doing. Keep going.
Verse 41. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen.
Right.
And they that hated them ruled over them.
They that what?
They that hated them ruled over them.
One more time.
They that hated them ruled over them.
Right. This is what happens when we start going to these other guys and we want to sell this dope and be like these oppressors. Now they're going to come in and rule over. They're going to bring more pain and more suffering, more jail time, more death into Mexico because our brothers there don't know and don't fear the Lord. So this is why it's our job to go in and teach them who the oppressor is, teach them the law, statutes, and commandments, and show them there's a different way for them. Now, will everyone come into the truth and it's going to be some big thing through their whole nation? La. But for the ones that do hear and do see, and we have been warning them and telling them to get out of that lifestyle and change, because now they're seeing who the real boogeyman is. Like, those little guns they got in the cartel are not anything. The American military has no price, no resource. They're not ever going to run out of money. They're waiting to spend their money on bullets, waiting to spend their money on guns. They have everything they need to go in there, and it's going to become hell. But I know what they're going to do. Like I said, they're not going in there to end the dope. They're going in there to rob them for the dope. That's what America's going to do. They're going to steal all those keys and bring them right here and sell them in our hoods. You know what I mean? But keep going.
Verse 42. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought unto subjection under their hand. Verse 43. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and they were brought low for their iniquity.
Right.
Verse 44. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction, but he heard their cry.
Right. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. So even through all of this, the Lord sent these devils to destroy us. He is going to hear our cry when we turn back to the Lord and he is going to have mercy on our nations. Keep going.
Verse 25. And he remembered for them his covenant
Mm-hmm.
and repented according to the multitude of his mercy.
Like, yeah. So one thing I think about right here, when you read verse 41, it says, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Who is ruling over the white man? There's nobody. Who is ruling over, you know what I'm saying, the European nation? Nobody is ruling over them. So how is it that this can be anybody else but us? You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to be blacks and Latinos, because no one is experiencing the oppression like we are. This book describes us in every way. And then for us to be delivered from the oppression is the same thing. Like, no one else needs salvation more than us. And we're going to see in this next couple of years, these stories going to come out years from now, Christ don't return, about how evil these Americans are about to treat these people in Mexico that are allegedly in the cartels. Go ahead.
Verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captive. Verse 47.
Mm-hmm.
Save us, O Lord our God, and gather us from among the heathen, to give thanks unto thy holy name.
Right.
And to triumph in thy praise.
Right. All right. Give me Proverbs 19 and 9. Let's keep going. Where we at? I'm getting a little bit better today. I'm going to keep rolling through these precepts, and we got a little bit more from a video and an article I think I got for you. Let's see. Proverbs 19 and 9.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
False witness shall not be unpunished,
Mm-hmm.
and he that speaketh lies shall perish.
Right. A false witness shall not go unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. These people are giving all of these lies and explaining these things to our people, which is no truth in them at all, man. And so they're going to be punished. And this is one version of it. It's like they're trying to deny their punishment. This fentanyl is also meant to destroy America too, because America deserves it, because this is what is done everywhere else. And that's why I said the Chinese learn from them. Like, oh, y'all want to destroy a people? Just give them dope. That's the quickest way you can destroy a people. And it's no irony. Like, I'm reading these books about the Black Panthers, the things they were trying to do in Oakland to fight back. It's no coincidence in the 70s and 80s, Oakland became the home of drugs. It's the same place, nothing new under the sun. So I'm sure, you know, well, yeah, they want them to be drug addicts in Mexico, not drug dealers. They like, man, we'll do all of that, man. Salaki. But let's go to Romans 1:18. There must not be enough drug addicts in Mexico. They need to stress people out with these police raids, turn people into drug addicts instead of drug dealers.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Right. They don't want to, like, the Lord is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, who are lying once again. These are the deceivers and the deception. Let's get 1 Peter 2:22. Bounce around, man. Just drop some precepts real quick. Yeah, in 21.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps. Verse 22. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right. Look, Christ didn't sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. This is who we're supposed to follow. We're not supposed to look up to the cartels. We're not supposed to look up to the white man. We're not supposed to look up to anything but our king. And he was truthful and honest in everything he did. The word guile means sly or cunning intelligence, craftiness. Christ didn't have any craftiness or cunningness to him because he wasn't trying to finesse people. He was coming straight up and telling people straight up. All right. And that's what we're here to do in the UPK. Like, we're here to give our people the truth because that's what will make you free. And being an Israelite is about obeying the commandments of God. Let's drop that. Let me get Jeremiah 9:6. About some a bit. Start at verse 5.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And they will deceive everyone in his neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity.
Right. Damn. You want to take a shot at that one?
That's like so. I face value the white man is just deceiving.
Right.
The devil.
Break it down a little bit though, and they will just break it down and they will deceive everyone his neighbor. What does that mean?
Like even his own people?
Yeah. Everyone. Even his own people, his own neighbor. Correct. Yeah, I'm right. Keep going.
Trust me not any brother in any brother.
And will not speak the truth for you and
for everybody. Oh no. Speak the truth.
Right.
They'll talk their tongue, be quiet.
Damn.
They teaching their kids to do this.
Damn.
It's like it's a part of their being.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you get back to the old wars, you see what I mean? Like I said, they did this in the 1800s. They sent dope to this country. And they did it to us in the 80s. They sent dope to this country. Now, like I said, some people even arguing, is it really even the Chinese that are sending it? Is it the Americans working with certain Chinese to send it over here? You never know how evil he is. He might wop it where he send people over there to get some certain groups of Chinese people to send it over here to set them up so he can eventually go to war with them. You never know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But these lies, they always been consistent. It's always a catch. So they're not just going there because they're doing something to fight terrorism. It's something else going on. And you got to be able to watch and see through it, because even when he speaks the truth, it's the result of a double lie. He's still lying even when he tells you something that's right. So let's go to this article I sent you, and then we got a couple more. We'll stay on track to finish by 9 o'clock. So let's see. The war on drugs as structural racism. And then let's see. We'll skip down a little bit. You can. As she opened the panel discussion, let's see. When we think about what fueled mass incarceration, you can go to that part if you see it. It's in the second paragraph.
As she opened the panel discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it says in quotes, when we think about what fueled.
Okay. Chat slide says, should I start from the top or just start right there?
I'll read the title of the article and you can just start from right there. The title is called The War on Drugs, Structural Racism. I don't know if this is an article. Yeah, it looks like it's an article. Yep.
When we think about what fueled mass incarceration, what laws and policies were created that led to both the ballooning of the prison population and the racial disproportionality of who is there, the war on drugs is really front and center.
Right. It's like, you think about this, man. It's not about, how is it a racial element if it's a war on drugs? Why is it becoming, where did race come into it? Drugs don't care who uses them. You know what I'm saying? Drugs don't care who sells them. Chinese people sell drugs. East Indian people sell drugs. Africans sell drugs. White people sell drugs. Like, all of these different nations sell dope, but for some reason, everyone going to jail is a Black American, is a Judite. There's something else going on here then. Let's drop down to where it says the Nixon campaign. Let's see. Yeah, this tells you.
The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-war left and Black people.
Damn. So the white people that was going and protesting against Vietnam War, they didn't like them, and they just didn't like Black people. All of us, like, damn, you didn't just not like the Black Panthers. You didn't just not like, this organization. They just said just niggas in general. That's who they were tripping on. All right, keep going.
Sorry,
Yeah, and whatever it said. You just go to you understand what I'm saying. Eachleman said, I don't know what his name is. Ehrlichman.
I will say, Ehrlichman said, you understand what I'm saying. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war on Black, the war or Black.
Right. We couldn't make it illegal for you to go against the war, and we couldn't make it illegal for you to be Black. But we got to do something about this shit. It's like this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and Blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities.
Right.
We could arrest their leaders and raid their homes, break up their meetings, and
vilify
them night after night on the evening news.
Right. So make them villains on the news. We're gonna make them thugs, the gangsters. They had something called super predators. That's what Hillary Clinton called us. Like, all of these titles came out and they painted this image of Black men being the scum of the earth, and that allowed them to go to war against our people. So it's saying we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders and raid their homes, break up their meetings. Like, now, once again, clearly the war is against Mexicans. The war is against Latinos. They're trying to do what right now? What is the big thing that's really going on with Latinos?
Immigration.
There you go. They're trying to deport Mexicans and Latinos out of this country. It makes it a whole lot easier to do it if everybody thinks of them as the cartel when they see them. If everyone thinks of them as racist when they see them. They call that when you dehumanize someone. You're not a human anymore. So when you go to war, they have titles. I won't say them on here, but they call Asians. You know what they call Asians at war? It start with a G. It rhymes. It rhymes with Luke.
With the M.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. That one too. That one you can say, but this one you can't say. This is like you ever heard of that word? They call them. It's not Mook, but it starts with a G.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, they say when you call them that when you're going to war, it's easier to kill that as opposed to saying I just killed this person or this man or this father or this brother.
Right.
So the same thing we do in our gangs. Like that's why they have to call them crabs, slobs. They have to call them another name to dehumanize. So you didn't just say, "Oh man, I just went and killed that brother around the corner." It don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I killed that slob. I just shot that crab. I just shot all these other names that they use to diss these other hoods, and he was from sissies. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Just you just name a diss because it's easier for you to go and shoot one of those as opposed to dealing with a human being. And so, what was the thing that we was looking up right now? So, right, it says they raided their homes. Something I was going to look up real quick. We could arrest their leader. Oh, yeah, man. What's his name? Scott Storch wife. Let me see if this comes up real quick. How you spell his name? Valet. See if it come up. Where's the crash show? See if this comes out. This might not. Long. If this one ain't it, I'll keep going for time's sake. Okay. Damn. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Oh man. Hold on. He's like, you on the thing when it's unedited, she said y'all are rapists and y'all shoot people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, her call out of one. Damn right. We in the building. Now we can for sure say that. Like, curse this devil. Like, she is mad for whatever reason, and she did everything a white woman would do, man. She said after she got caught, she said one of them touched her ass. You see what I'm saying? So the justification of her saying this racist rhetoric is she got sexually assaulted. SA didn't happen. Everyone said it didn't happen. There's no, they got it on camera. They got witnesses. Ain't no man touched her pasty white ass. You know what I'm saying? She out there got that pancake ass. You know what I mean? Or it's like it's an inflated, who knows what it is, brother. But nobody wanted that. You know what I'm saying? So, but soon as she's mad, whatever she's mad, she's tripping off her coat. She said, "You're a wetback, you're a rapist, and you shoot people, and Trump is doing something about it." You heard that part? Yeah, she said Trump is doing this against y'all. You know what I mean? But we can play it another time. But that's what's really going on. These people are mad at Mexicans right now. And it's crazy. It really is the Lord in some way. I don't want to say it like that, but it's got to be true. Like, they have put a spirit on, you know what I'm saying, to go against Mexicans right now. Go ahead. To reveal that they are the devil. Go ahead.
When you said who's over the white man, that came to mind. I was like, Lord.
Right.
He has that.
Mm-hmm. He put a spirit on them where they didn't redirect their energy against niggas, and they going towards Mexicans now. Right. And the proof is they just called them terrorists. So you know it's not really about a war on terrorism, just like we read in this article. It wasn't about a war on niggas. It was about a war on black people. So they bring in the dope to black people. Then they arrest you for having it, which makes you want to get high, which, you see what I'm saying? Makes you want to sell more drugs because now all your father's in jail, so you don't have no money. So you got to sell dope. So then you go to jail, and then it just becomes a vicious cycle. And your community gets more and more destroyed. And at the end of it, who walks away clean? The white man, and your community is destroyed, and they become richer. Y'all trying to become better and grow and doing this Black Power and the Black Panthers, you feeding your kids. Oh, nah. Y'all need to start focusing on pimping and selling dope in Oakland. That needs to become your culture, not Black Panthers, pimping, selling dope. Well, we need to give y'all dope and we need to give y'all pimps. Let's make a movie in Oakland called The Mac. Damn, it just hit me right now. You heard of the movie The Mac? You seen it? A little bit. Okay. And you know, people out in the Bay brag about that movie being in Oakland. I was just watching the cat last night. His name, what's his name? Mac Mall. He was just like, you know what I'm saying? We out here in the Bay, man. You know, we got that game, man. This is where the Mac from, man. You know, the Ward brothers. Like, damn, it's no coincidence that pimping became the biggest thing in the Bay Area at the same time at the fall of the Black Panthers, and heroin came and crack came. Come on, bro. It's not a coincidence, man. They paid them niggas to make a movie about pimping in Oakland so that every nigga in Oakland will want to be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is strategic, man. And that's what that precept, we go back to it again and we'll keep going. Go ahead.
My grandfather actually told me all the time when I was younger that the Mac actually made him want to be a pimp.
Right.
And he did. He loved that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. You know what I'm saying? I did the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is from the Bay. This is our culture. This is what we brag about. When you come into the truth, we realize that's not our culture. That's what the oppressor gave us. But precepts like this really explain it. So, which one was it? Where were we at over here real quick? 9 and... Yeah, 9 and 6. Okay, yeah. Do 5 again, and then we'll go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 5. Mm-hmm. And they will deceive everyone, his neighbor, and will not speak the truth.
Right.
They have taught their tongue to speak lies.
Right.
And weary themselves to commit iniquity.
Damn, they stress themselves out in order to commit iniquity. And that's where these things is coming home to roost on them. They're going to start having these opioid addiction, or they're not going to start, but that's what they're dealing with right now. You know what I mean? But let's see. Let's go back. Is there anything else on this article? And we'll keep moving. Structural racism. Oh, yeah, that's the most important part. Well, the topic is lying. It says, we could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. This is somebody that worked with the president, releasing this information and showing you this is what they really were doing. Let me see. Let me think if there's anything else in here. Criminal or patients. No, I think this is. What happened? What'd you see?
No, I'm saying criminal or patients.
Right. Go ahead if
criminal or patients. A major theme throughout the discussion was how the issues of equity and anti-racism were not a part of the federal government's drug policies in the 1980s and 90s versus today's raging opioid epidemic. The panel agreed that the earlier war on drugs criminalized drug use for Black and Latino communities, while the current opioid epidemic policy was veered dramatically toward public health approach to the problem.
Right. And it's interesting. Like I said, it's always when you see these articles, they always talk about Black and Latinos. You know what I'm saying? They don't say Black and Arabs. You know what I mean? Don't say Black and Africans. It's always Blacks and Latino communities is dealing with these things. Keep going. This is another thing too. So let's say they are genuine about this war. We know why they want to fight it so hard.
Panelist Helena Hansen, who has been studying racialized aspects of U.S. drug policy for a decade, noted that the opioid crisis came to be seen as white. The popular press and politicians have been circulating images of Black and brown and even Asian people as addicted and dangerous for over 100 years.
Right.
And these racialized images built political support for prohibitionists criminalizing drug policies.
Right. So look, what is it saying? So they like put images out of Black and brown people addicted and dangerous. That's the music and the rap songs they show us on dope and, you know, glorifying these things or stuff like that. Let's see, Reed Henson, back in 1914.
Newspapers like the New York Times were reporting that cocaine crazed Negroes were attacking their white supervisors and raping white women.
Good night. Damn. It didn't even hit me. I read this earlier, but it didn't even hit me again. Once again, these niggas high on powder, they end up raping white women. What did the white woman say? You didn't hear it, but if you watch it clear, unedited, she said, you out here raping people and y'all are shooting people. You violent and you are rapists. That's how they painted Mexicans. It's the same way they painted niggas back then. Keep going. A couple of decades later,
A couple of decades later, in the 1930s, newspapers had stories of Mexican marijuana madness and Mexican workers sleeping on the job under the influence of their.
That's how you know they lying. You know what I'm saying? The devil, man, is a liar. Like these Mexicans is sleeping on the job. I ain't never seen a Mexican sleep at work. You know what I'm saying? They getting it in until they have a siesta, but they gonna grind it out. I ain't gonna be working and sleeping. Go ahead.
So like that just reminds me of a episode of George Lopez where this white dude had like a statue. He had like a little statue gnome of a Mexican with a sombrero.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
You remember this episode?
Nah, what show was it?
George Lopez.
Oh, nah. But I know they have a lot of those pictures and dolls, and they was doing that for that reason.
And they was just sleeping, and that was supposed to be George Lopez was tripping like this is racist.
Oh.
And some white dude had it on.
Damn, he didn't understand it. That's deep, Bob. That's deep. See what I mean? It's just like they used to have little racist dolls for us.
Right.
Big lips and smiling, eating watermelon and stuff.
Right.
That's what they did. This propaganda. Go ahead. That's to dehumanize you. You know?
These images led to more and more stringent narcotics laws and enforcement policies in Black and brown communities, which live with us even today.
Right. And then it goes on to talk about, but yeah, the white Americans was dying over barbiturate overdose rates that rival today's opioids overdose rates. So all the same time, white people throughout the country was getting high. It was getting they dope, but Black people were the ones, and brown Latino people were the ones that had the drug problem. So we'll go on here. Selective racialized decriminalization. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep going. But those are some of the parts of that as well. And there's another video on here, but we might not have time for this one. Let's see. It just breaks down. I saw something earlier. It was heavy. They said that. Let's see if she says something. It's only 1 minute. That was 2 minutes. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna play it. This is only 2 minutes. We rounding out, so we're doing good for time today.
Since 1991, most newly convicted Blacks are incarcerated for nonviolent, low-level drug offenses. Most Black folks are not locked up for violent crimes like rape and murder. Most Black folks are locked up every year. New convictions are locked up for nonviolent, low-level drug crimes. Now, what is staggering about this? What is disturbing about this is that most drug users are white. I mean, overwhelmingly, most drug users are white. Most drug dealers are white. White middle-class youth, specifically, white middle-class youth use drugs at use certain categories of drugs at significantly higher rates than Blacks. White middle-class youth use crack, LSD, heroin, cocaine, meth at 7 to 8 times the rate of Black folks. Yet it is Black people that are hyper-policed in the so-called war on drugs. It is Black people that are filling the prisons. It is Black people that are associated with drugs like crack, for example. Most crack users are white. And like I said, white middle-class youth use crack at higher rates, but there's an association with Black people in general, association with Black folks, violence and crime and drug crimes. The stereotypical drug dealer is a young Black male.
Like, if you told me it's in the 90s, I would never even believe you that more white people were smoking crack than nigga. I don't even think white people knew what crack was. Right. Like, I almost think she lying right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how much of a devil the white man is. It's like, let me check her credentials. Is she lying? Is she making this up? Ain't no way. If I wouldn't have seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street, when the white dude was like, "You want to smoke crack with me?" I don't know if that movie, he was like, "Come, Leonardo DiCaprio, smoke crack with me." I'm like, damn, white people, this is the first time I even knew, you know what I mean? White people even smoke crack, but they definitely were smoking that rock, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's how they paint it. She what she said, the stereotypical drug dealer is this nigga you see on the corner. You always think that.
So there are a lot of reasons why Black women are disproportionately incarcerated. Poverty has something to do with it. Joblessness, inferior education linked to poverty. But white supremacist beliefs, gendered white supremacist beliefs about Black women also have something to do with it. If we believe that a group of people, that a mass of people are bad, then it does not give us pause. We do not question why certain groups appear in the prison population in greater numbers.
So that was the setup. He been doing this the whole time from the first jump. Was they're sending us the rapists, they're sending us the drug dealers, they're sending us the killers, and he been prepping everyone to hate Mexicans, hate Latinos, and they flooded the borders and bringing hella people in. They open up the borders, and then now they get to go back and do all these actions against them. And what happened? Yeah, exactly. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. It is just, if you make them seem like evil people, you can do whatever you want to them. All right, but let's see what God says about us, and we're gonna close out this class. We got 9 more minutes. So let's get Zechariah 2:8. What do we got? And then I'm gonna pull some of these.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Right. And when it says the nations that have spoiled you, that means not they're giving you things, but they're taking things away from you. Like when you say to the victor goes the spoils. When you have a war, you take away the spoils. These nations have spoiled us. For he that, so it says, for thus said the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. So he's going to get us and to bring us back to our glory, to where we come from, to our natural state of being the leaders of this world, right? Read, for he that toucheth you.
For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Right. And so these people can't get away with harming the Lord's chosen people. You think that you're going to keep doing these things to us and nothing's going to happen to you, man. The Lord is coming and bringing vengeance against these devils, man. Right. And they gave crack to us in the 80s, and fentanyl and opium came and is tearing their ass up in the 2000s.
Right.
You're going to destroy and try to destroy the so-called Mexicans right now. Good night on the thing that's coming to them next after they do this.
Right.
The Lord is saying you touching the apple of his eye. Yeah, they got brothers out there that's gone off and they in the cartels. They doing this and they doing that, man. But it's not just about them. How many people are in the cartel? Let's just ask that question. Like, how many members are in the cartel? You want to take a guess? How many do you think? And all the Mexican cartels, because there's a lot of different ones.
All of them put together?
Yeah, all of them put together.
Let's say, what, 20, 40K people in general? Like, I mean, roughly, I mean, it's in the thousands. It's not millions.
Right.
It's not millions in the cartel.
For sure, right?
But it's thousands, like maybe 100,000 people,
something like that. Yeah.
You know,
combined.
And there's like one that's like bigger than all of them. That kind of, you know, stuff.
Right. So it says U.S. Drug Enforcement had also estimated that there were around 45,000 members associated and brokers working for the Sinaloa and the Jalisco New Generation cartels. Altogether, 2023, there were around 175,000 people working for Mexican drug cartels. Right? Right? How many people live in Mexico? 129.7 million people. So we're talking about 0.001% of the population, and they're putting all the energy into destroying them, and it's not going to just be them that they get. They're going to affect everyone else around them and just totally destroy the whole communities out there. Because when you come in and do something like that, it's going to affect everybody's, you know what I'm saying, the daughters growing up without their father, the sons growing up without their dads. All these things have ripple effects. The same thing the Black community saw. So, but now here's the kicker. That's their terrorist group, terrorist organization. How many people are in the Chinese military? How many people you think?
The Chinese military?
Yeah.
I would say millions, sir.
That was good. That was a good one. As of January 2024, the People's Liberation Army of China had about 2 million active duty personnel. This makes the PLA the world's largest active duty military. They got 2 million soldiers, real weapons, real China has nuclear bombs. If I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
China got nukes, nigga.
Nukes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why is America trying to go after the cartels and not go after China? You see what I'm saying? The real problem is it's coming from China. We found that out. Why are y'all not going against China? Why are you taking your aggression against the cartels? Because they cannot F with China. And so they can't tell the people in Ohio whose white people keep ODing on opioids that we're going to fix it. So they're like, we're going to take it out on the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? See, we doing something, Bob. We're going to get your family off dope. They're going to stop sending dope over here. It's the cartels that keep putting cartels in your little town in Ohio. Y'all going to get off fentanyl. We doing something about it. We're going to get this fentanyl out of your community. And the white people go, yeah, Trump, yeah, we love you. And it's like, bruh, they're not even the real ones. Why don't you say nothing to, it said the Chinese government is sending it over here. That's not the Mexican government. There's a little gangs in Mexico that are doing that. The actual government of China is sending this stuff over here, man. So, you know, we're going to see what happens because every time they keep messing with China, China don't back down. They get more. They're like, bro, you trying to, what happened when y'all try to stop, when we try to stop y'all dope? When we started cutting up the dope and throwing it away, America sent troops to go to war over that. So now it's like China, they're going to be like, oh, you trying to stop the cartel? Who you think going to send the cartel some guns? You think it's just a goddamn drug thing? They that's they plug. Nah, bro, you stepping on our block. You went to war with us over the dope because we can't sell dope to your people. You think you're going to tell China in 2025 that they can't sell dope to us? They're going to be like, hell no. We pushing the dope. Matter of fact, here goes some guns to the cartel. Here goes some of this, some of that. Y'all need some grenades. Y'all need some more. They might send soldiers over there. You never know. So it's about to get spunky. Like World War III is cracking off as we see it. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. America has gone too far, and everything they've done is coming back to them. And that's why we don't got to do any of these things. We can sit here and watch these other nations destroy this place. We just got to get out of this spirit and step to the side and let this happen. So let's go to that one. Let's go to Joel. Let me see. Is it 2 or is it 3? 3. Yeah, let's go to Joel 3. We'll leave on the World War III precept. We'll get out of here at 9 o'clock. I did too wild today. You know, maybe it's my Wakan's fault. I missed that brother though. But yeah, shalom with that brother online watching. We out here. Chapter 3, verse 1.
With Joel, chapter 3, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Right. So this is saying he's gonna bring again the captivity. Like from face value, sometimes when you read it, you be like, damn, this old English, it sounds like he's gonna bring us back into captivity. Nah, it's saying he's gonna bring us out of captivity, bring back the captivity. Bring the people that were here enslaved back to Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right.
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel.
Right. So he's going to destroy. He's going to plead with them, not in a begging type of way. It's more like plead, like, I wish you would. I wish y'all would keep messing with the children of Israel. In the Valley of Jehoshaphat, you know where that's today? That's where Gaza Strip is at. The Gaza Strip is what this is talking about. He's saying all nations are going to gather here, and there is where he's going to plead for his people Israel, right?
Whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land.
Right. They divided up the land. Some of it's Israel, some of it's Palestine, some of it's over here, Saudi Arabia. Keep going.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
Right. You sold our cast lots for our people. You stopped dice for us. You want this little nigga? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no money. All right, well, shoot for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, if I lose, nigga, you can have this little nigga. You know what I'm saying? They cast lots for our people and have given a boy for a harlot. Oh, man, that broad look good over there. How much is she? About this. All right, man, I can just sell you him. You can let me sleep with her tonight. They was giving us away like that. You know what I'm saying? And sold a girl for wine. And this little nigga broad, let me just sell her. I can get a bottle. We ain't got no money on ain't got no snaps on the petrol. We ain't got no snaps on the bottle. It's good. Bring that little nigga in here. Go and sell her around the corner. We'll get a fit tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is talking about, bro. This is how they treat our people. And it's the same thing to this day. You know, they just do it in different ways. Oh, I need to buy this. Well, just start firing people, lay them off. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of them. We'll get some more profits this year. That's how they treat us. You know what I'm saying? Disposable. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, O Tyre, and Zidon,
Zidon,
and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine?
Right.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Right. So what are you going to do? You see all these different nations, like I said, Tyre, Zidon, all of this in the Israel area, you know, Palestine. Will you going to pay me back for fighting for my people when you're the ones that are wrong? And so I'm going to return that repayment back to you. And then let's see, you can go drop down to verse 8. You know what I mean?
Verse 8. And I will send your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
Right.
And they shall sell them to the Scythians and to people afar off. For the Lord hath spoken.
Right. So eventually we're going to be the ones that's enslaving them. And we're going to sell their children off to these other nations. That's what's going to happen to these oppressors. Keep going.
Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war.
Do what?
Prepare war.
One more time.
Prepare war.
Keep going.
Wake up the mighty.
The Lord is saying, man, all of y'all, all the Gentiles, Russia, Ukraine, China, Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, anything you name it, France, Spain, everybody prepare war. They're going to come down. This is World War III that it's talking about, man. All the nations, man. Prepare war. Keep going.
Wake up all the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Mm-hmm. And then let's do verse 12 when we out.
Verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Mm-hmm.
For there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Good night. That judgment is going to be death and bloodshed. All the evil they've done against us is they're going to have to pay for it. That's the judgment that's coming to them. All right? All right. With that, we'll go ahead and close out. Say shalom, Yabashim Yashar, Thumb to all the brothers. All right. Yahweh tomorrow, Thumb Bashim Yashar to all the sisters. All right, class dismissed. All right.